What's going on, guys? It's your boy the Markham Knight here. Today's video is going to be all about the DC Multiverse McFarlane figures. These are the upcoming figures at some point this year. Now, these are the ones he officially confirmed. There are other ones, like the Snyder Cut ones, that have been rumored and there have been leaks, but we don't know for sure until he's confirmed them. So these are the confirmed ones, and I'm just going to kind of go through this list and do my copper drop and give you kind of a quick background, just in case that you guys want to pick up any of these figures or maybe do some more research for yourselves and see which ones you might like. Now, I want to start with the Bizarro Rebirth. For those of you who don't know who Bizarro is a Superman villain, and he is a clone of Superman. Sometimes he's an anti-hero, and now he's currently acting as a hero, and he teams up with Red Hood and Artemis. So I do want him. I do have the Red Hood. It's one of my favorite figures, and hopefully they come out with Artemis at some point. Even if they don't, I'm a Superman collector, so picking up Bizarro is a must for me. Now, John Stewart Green Lantern, that is the Black Green Lantern that is in the Justice League animated series. So he is pretty cool. I personally will not be picking him up unless they drop some more Green Lantern figures. I need Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, and maybe even Simon Baz, but Guy Gardner, at least get some core Green Lantern figures in there before I want to pick up John Stewart just for the hell of it. Some of you who do have the Justice League animated characters and stuff like that and you want to get them together, you can definitely pick up John Stewart. For me, that one is a drop. Next one is the Joker Nightwing. For those of you who have not read Death of the Family, Joker Nightwing, basically it's a Jokerized version of Nightwing. It only lasts maybe a single issue or so. It doesn't really go on much further than that, but it's definitely a drop for me. All they did was change the sculpt, the head sculpt, and the neck was painted, so I will not be picking him up. I already have a Nightwing. I don't need another Nightwing, so that's a drop for me. Flashpoint Batman Unmasked. Now, this is another one of those that I'm going to drop. I do have Flashpoint Batman, but I do not need him to be unmasked, and if I'm going to do an unmasking, I'm probably going to want to do the head sculpt to be a custom or something like that. He does come with the sword, but I prefer him with the guns anyway, so it's not a pickup for me. Next one is the Batman Halbach armor, and this is the Lunar New Year edition. So, honestly speaking, the sculpts are very expensive for them to make. It costs them maybe $100,000 per sculpt. So I do feel like this is just kind of a repeat, and that's because the Hellbat Batman sold so well that they basically want to redo that one, and they just kind of gave it a paint job and they're going to resell it. So I'm definitely not going to be picking this up. I do have Hellbat Batman. He is one of my coolest figures, but I will not be picking up this one. It's just the paint over. The Wonder Woman Last Night on Earth with the helmet of Naboo. Now, for those of you who know who Dr. Fate is, Dr. Fate, basically you get a head sculpt of Dr. Fate. So I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. I do have other Wonder Woman head sculpts that I can switch out with that one. And then basically I'd have the helmet of Naboo ready to go. So I'm going to be picking it up for that purpose. Also, Last Night on Earth is a pretty cool read. So if you wanted to pick that up for yourselves, I would definitely recommend that one. Reverse Red Death. This one is actually a part of his Gold Label Part 2, and he's not supposed to be Reverse Red Death, but Reverse Red Death is something in the comic books. It's basically the Red Death has the Batman side of it removed, and it's just Barry left in there, so it's kind of a reverse of that, so he's no longer a bad guy, and he looks really, really cool, and he looks on point with what he did in the comic books, so he is a definite cop for me. Now then, there's the Batman Beyond entire line. Before I get to that one, I just want to do the other two variants that are going to be a part of this, a new individual ones coming out before I take on these two lines. The Batman White Knight, the red variant, I will definitely not be picking this up. White Knight was a cool read for the first time, but I will not be needing a second White Knight or anything like that just because it has a wet red variant, which was just like one cover. So definitely not for me. The Batman by Todd McFarlane. Now, Todd McFarlane designed his Batman. It was a gold label release, and I might have mine on the way, but I will not be picking up a second one. I have not seen the variant. He has not released any pictures of the variant, but I don't really think it's worth it. I don't need a specific variant unless there's something drastic and crazy going on. So I will not be picking that up. So the Batman Beyond Build-A-Figure. The Build-A-Figure I will get to at the end, but let's go through the actual list of stuff that will be coming out. And this, for the Americans, it's going to be coming out on Target way before it comes out anywhere else. And for the rest of the world, at the end of the year, we're going to be able to pick up all these characters all together. And it starts with Batman Beyond, and Batman Beyond is supposed to drop in April. I will not be picking up Batman Beyond. I do really like Batman Beyond. I might pick him. Okay, so I'm going to pick up this entire line, but I do not know which ones I'm going to keep. So my cop and drop is going to be a little different. I will be copping all of them. Which ones I'll be dropping, a little up in the air. So starting with Batman Beyond, this one does not apparently have a face for some weird reason. Well, he does have a face, but he doesn't have a nose or a mouth. And this is going to be different than the Batman Beyond he showed us. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick him up. Maybe I won't pick him up. I'll be buying him, but I don't know if I'm going to keep him. But I definitely want a Batman Beyond in my collection, so I'm either going to keep him or the single release that's going to be coming out later. Shriek is basically a Batman Beyond villain. I will not be picking him. I will not be keeping him. I do not need him, so he will be a drop. Batwoman Beyond is basically from the future. There's a point in the comics where Terry McGinnis gets amnesia and he stops being Batman Beyond, so Gotham needs a savior, and Batwoman Beyond steps in from the future. And I will not be keeping her either. Blight I will not be keeping. If he looks cool enough, maybe I'll keep him, but I don't know if, we'll see. We'll see how well he's done. I mean, we've only seen a picture as of now, so they have not finished the sculpt, so it'll be interesting to see how he looks in actual form, but as of right now, I'm not super excited about Blight, so I probably won't keep him. Now, the biggest reason I do want to get this whole line is because of the Build-A-Figure, and that is the Batman/Joker, because their heads were fused together in Future's End. For those of you who have not read Future's End is pretty good. It's basically a dystopian future where the robots have taken over. Batman has created Brother Eye, and Brother Eye, with the help of Brainiac, has been taking over the entire planet, and everyone has been turned into robots. And Batman himself was fused with the Joker, his face, and then his head was put onto a body controlled by Brother Eye and everything. So it's very, very cool. Now, the last line that I do want to talk about that he released, it's another Build-A-Figure wave, and that is to build a Darkfather. I'll speak of Darkfather at the end, but these are definite cops for me. So Black Lantern Batman, I would have loved if he came with this scythe, but he comes with a guitar in this version. Doesn't matter, I'm going to pick him up regardless. He looks really, really cool. Wonder Woman from Death Metal, this is all from the Death Metal series, but Wonder Woman in Death Metal, this is as different as we're going to see Diana look for a while, and she looks really, really cool and really badass. And I would love if they do like an all gold version of her. Basically, that's the one who fought the Darkest Night at the end of it, so that would be really cool if they do something like that. I would definitely pick up that one as well. Anti-Life Superman, this is Superman with the anti-life slowly taking over his body, and he looks really badass and really up Todd McFarlane's alley, because Todd McFarlane does Spawn, so I know for a fact he probably loved this version of Superman, because he's a lot less Boy Scout and a lot more looking like a badass, so definitely copping him. And then there's Robin King. Robin King is basically Bruce Wayne from one of the Dark universes, and he becomes the King of the Robins. He starts off as a Robin, but then he becomes the King of the Robins, and he leads like all of the Robins out of that, and his Robins follow him, and he's a super badass as well. So I will definitely be copping that entire line. And then there's Darkfather. Darkfather I will cop. I don't know if I'm going to keep him, but I'm definitely going to cop him. He looks really, really cool. I mean, he's significantly larger than he should be to scale. He is supposed to be the same height as Anti-Life Superman. They made him a lot bigger than Anti-Life Superman. I don't know why, but regardless, he looks cool. I'm probably going to hold him down for a bit, or maybe I'll keep him and I'll just sell him at the end of it. These Build-A-Figures usually tend to sell for a good amount, so you can get a lot of your return on your investment for the other figures, and I can get a lot of that back just by selling Darkfather in the first place. So a lot of times people will do that. If they like the actual figures, they'll buy the figures and then they'll sell the Build-A-Figure. If they like the Build-A-Figure, they'll buy all the figures and then they'll build the Build-A-Figure and they'll sell just the figures on their own. Anyways, guys, these are the things that I'm looking forward to, and the ones that are cops and drops for me for the upcoming confirmed figure line. Obviously, there's the Snyder Cut figures that were leaked, and I do hope that those come out at some point, because I will cop each and every one of those. I don't know if I'll keep each and every one of those, but I'm definitely going to pick up each of them first to see which ones I like and which ones I don't like. Otherwise, the McFarlane figures are really, really badass, and I really, really hope we get as much of these as possible before his licensing runs out, and even better if they extend his license, because he's doing really, really good work, and he needs to make use of the license that he does have for now. Anyways, guys, are you picking up any of these figures? Are you guys collectors like me? Tell me what you think. This is the Markham Knight, and I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.